We're going to turn overseas now. The Lebanese army said today it detained a wife and child of the self-proclaimed Islamic State leader Abu Bakr Al-Baghdadi. Lebanese forces arrested them days ago when they crossed the border from Syria with fake travel documents. Security officials there reportedly view this high-level capture as leverage in hostage negotiations with the Islamic insurgents. Earlier this year, the group named al-Baghdadi Caliph for Muslims everywhere. They're trying to carve out a caliphate that incorporates parts of Iraq and Syria. To help shed some light on this situation, we are joined by Dr. Michael Noonan, who is a program director on national security at the Foreign Policy Research Institute. He also served alongside Kurdish forces in the Second Iraq War. Welcome to Arise America. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about this detainment of this wife and child. There seems to be some confusion about whether or not it is a son or a daughter, but how unusual is this type of situation?
Well, one of his wives was captured a few years back, and she was actually traded in a hostage release program that was able to bring back some nuns, some Greek Orthodox nuns that were being captured in Syria. So in that respect, it's not completely new. What is different about this case, though, is that apparently from some of the media reporting on this, there was some foreign intelligence cooperation that led to their detainment, and the area that they were detained around was crossing the border to a place called Arsil in northern Lebanon, which is about 190 miles away from Raqqa, which is where the Islamic State has its kind of capital at.
And I just want to be clear about this. Do you think this was a strategic detainment or coincidence, if you will, because they just got caught with fake documents?
I think it's probably, there's probably a little bit of both. The Lebanese government has 20 soldiers and policemen that have been held hostage by rebels in the Syrian conflict since August. So on their part, perhaps they thought that grabbing them would both get them goodwill from Western states, such as the United States, but it would also give them a good card to play in trying to negotiate the release of these soldiers and policemen. And
that notwithstanding, though, could this also be perhaps bad for Lebanon? Could this blow back on them?
It potentially could. So Lebanon is a state that is it's called it's a multi-ethnic, multi-religious state. You have Shia Arabs in the south, you have Sunni Arabs, and then you have a Maronite Christian population. And the Hezbollah, the Shia section in the south, has sent fighters to go fight for the Assad regime in Syria against the rebels. And there have been several attacks over the years by Sunni insurgents in the country, and potentially this could lead to a backlash of them trying to broaden the war into Lebanon and actually start off to spread the conflict, to draw Hezbollah back out of Syria, and to really kind of inflame regional tensions.
And are there other ways that al-Baghdadi could use this to his advantage?
Well, I mean, potentially he could use this as a call for people to resist. Lebanon is kind of in a precarious position right now because it's a country of about 4 million people, but they have about 1 million refugees from Syria in the country right now. So it's causing a big humanitarian crisis there. If you've been following in the news, the UN is talking now about reducing some of the support that's been given to refugees there. So it could be a real tinderbox there. And these sectarian issues is a real driver in ISIS. It's one of the big reasons why they've drawn so many international supporters to the conflict. It's really kind of an extreme version of kind of takfir, of Sunni Islam's very kind of a 7th century interpretation of Islam. And one of the real drivers behind it is that they are fighting against this apostate, what they claim to be as an apostate Alawite regime in Syria.
Dr. Michael Noonan, thank you so much for your time and perspective. We do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.